Yes, this is me at level 35 with my Sorceress finishing the CapStone Dungeon solo. I found the perfect leveling build to just zoom through the content. And now I'm just farming tier 3 strongholds for absolute mental XP gains. And the best part, the new patch buffs it even more. And it's already insanely good and fun. For damage, we're using Chain Lightning. And that gets paired with 3 aspects you can find from dungeons. Yes, from dungeons. 2. Replenish mana on Chain Lightning bounces, which gets buffed with the patch. More mana on using cooldowns. Your Frost Armor, Frost Nova, Fire Armor, Teleportation, Unstable Currents, your ultimate. And then also another one, which is more Chain Lightning bounce chance. Yes, triple stack of aspects that I essentially have from level 10 to 15 on my character to make me never run out of resource and be able to just zoom through any dungeon. And the little trick here being that I'm currently farming strongholds in world tier 3. Yes, in world tier 3 with level 39, actually 35 as I just got over. And that works because if you go into world tier 3, the strongholds give you the 100% bonus XP, but they are still level gated to your level. So I'm 35, they're going to be 37, 38. And if I'm 39, they're going to be 41. So it's super simple to farm them, get good gear, but also not struggle in world tier 3. And the XP gain is just mental. As enchantments, I'm using the Firebolt one to actually have my Chain Lightnings also burn everyone, and the 30% chance to make a Frost Orb. The reason for that is the hearts, because you can very early on get the Tal Rasha's heart, which gives you 11-12% bonus damage multiplicative for each element you're using. So one Chain Lightning already burns fire and chain, plus the chance to make the frost, and that 8 second long. So every 8 seconds, I just have to make a Frost Orb. And I'm getting another 36% multiplicative bonus damage on everything I deal already. If I now can also have like the Heart of the Pekana, you also have the Chain Lightning, do even more critical strike lightning effects between everyone to then even chain even more and do more damage. Beautiful. The trick with the Chain Lightning is you have to stay inside your opponent as much as possible. And I'll explain that with the skills now. I've so far spent 4 or 5 hours with the character to already get to level 39. And now to get to level 50 with World Tier 3 Legion events and everything already up. It's my fastest character ever. What are we using right now? We have the Firebolt into Flickering Firebolt for the mana generation. Then also Chain Lightning into Destructive Chain Lightning for the Crackling Energies, because we want a critical strike and get that off. 1 point in Frozen Orb, so we can take the Frozen Orb enchantment for the time being. Then Devastation for the maximum mana, and into Elemental Dominance for the bonus damage when cast above 50. And we kind of cast them a lot above 50 mana with all the mana regeneration we have. Flame Shield into Heal. That was for finishing the CapStone Dungeon. Right now, I would go back. You gain mana reduction while Flame Shield is active, so I can spam even harder. With Teleport, giving us the bonus damage reduction for 3 seconds as I teleport in, because I constantly try to stand between my opponents. That's because of my key passive I'm using. Glass Cannon for bonus damage, followed up with Elemental Attunement, where my critical strike have a chance to reset my defensive skills. Very good, as my defensive skills restore my mana. Then the Frost Nova for making things vulnerable, and we're going to play the Ice Barrier into the damage against vulnerable enemies contributes 50% more to Ice Barrier. I'm not using the Ice Armor right now. Since we're still having Firebolt as our mana generation, we won't need that as we get higher leveled with Paragons, with finally having enough lucky hit chance to really continuously reset everything and crit and make Crackling Energies. Therefore, right now it's still needed, but I think around level 50, we should be able to completely phase the Firebolt out. Very important is align the elements for the damage reduction, followed up by protection using a cooldown grants 30% of maximum health as barrier, and also mana shield. Every time you spend 100 mana, you gain damage reduction. Probably going to put 2 more points into that, but the full level 50 tree you will see in the description below. This is for you to just show off what I have already done with my points. Then we get 3 points in the Static Discharge for the increased lucky hit. Critical strikes with shock skills have a chance to make Crackling Energy, and we obviously increase our lucky hit chance so we have as much Crackling Energy as possible. And then Crackling Energy gives us mana. Currently, I don't have an opportunity to stun anyone, but I think if I get the Raiment of the Infinite, where the teleport pulls together and stuns, I will also put points into Shocking Impact to get that stun done. Now we're having Unstable Currents with the Supreme Unstable Currents, also 3 points in the Cursing Currents, so we have a better chance to critical strike. And we'll also put in enemies deal 5% less damage after being critical struck by shock skills. Plus, probably shock skills have a chance to stun the enemies, so we'll most likely put all the points in here and together with the stun, but we have another 11 points left over to spend, so that should perfectly check out. There's also my key passive with Virus Mastery. For close enemies, take 10% increased damage from your shock skills and deal 20% less damage to you. Critical strikes increase these bonuses by 25%, which is absolutely perfect. And if I'm not mistaken, Virus is also getting buffed. Or Virus? Not sure how to pronounce that. Now, the best part is, again, that these aspects are available from the beginning on. Chain Lightning has a 45% chance to chain it 2 additional times, unlocked by completing Chapter 3 in this season journey. Super quick, can be done, especially if it's your second seasonal character, no problem. Then using a cooldown restores mana, that's Witch Water in Havazar. I did that at level 15. Chain Lightning bounces gain 4 mana. I did that at level 10, Zenith in Fractured Peaks. And then you just make sure to get a yellow amulet from the Tree of Whispers, some random yellow ring, and you just enchant them on that. I mean, here's critical strike chance, there's critical strike chance, and also fire damage. Here's vulnerable damage, and that one has shock skill damage. I'll essentially keep these now for quite a while. If I also had the slot, I would pick out the Heart of the Picana. Critical strikes electrically charge enemies, causing lightning to arc between them and other charged enemies dealing lightning damage. I would also put that in, but I don't have the heart slots yet right now. So I'm going to take a new orange ring to slam the Heart of the Picana in, and also to use Tal Rashas from the very beginning on, because you get them so early as you do the seasonal journey. Why wouldn't you just use them to get the super bonus damage? You thought that was everything? There's actually another one I could use, and that is Frozen Orb stays in place after reaching its destination and explodes 2 additional times for 20% of its damage, which means we have a 30% chance to launch a Frozen Orb with the enchantment on just using our Chain Lightnings, which will restore continuously mana and spam it just away. And that Frozen Orb even stays and explodes, which helped us tremendously in the Curator fight, which was quite the Herculean task, but it was super fun to finish. Now, there's a final aspect I picked up early, and I was lucky to get that from the Tree of Whispers. Core or Mastery skills cast at or above 100 mana gain a 52 increased critical strike chance. Amazing. Interestingly enough, that one actually can be found as well by doing the Pallet Delve. It's a low roll of 20%, so 40% on your two-handed weapon. Everything is available for this build early on. That's already 5 aspects, and I only have 4 more to fill. Interestingly enough, what you could take in the very beginning as it drops, Aspect of Audacity. When there's at least 5 close enemies, stun them. That will work with your lightning damage as well, to just walk into people, because with Rear's Aspect, you're always going to go into the middle of everyone, and if you don't have the Arraignment of the Infinite yet, that's like the poor man's Arraignment of the Infinite. Also for the pants, Disobedience can just be enchanted. It's available straight up from the Codex of Powers again. And then for the chest, I would probably go for the Aspect of Fortune. Your lucky hit chance is increased by 10 to 20% while you have a barrier active. And last but not least, on the helmet, there is taking direct damage has a 2 to 6% chance to reset a cooldown of one of your defensive skills. So reset cooldown, use cooldown to create mana, make mana, shoot enemies, destroy enemies, blast enemies. That's right now what I'm aiming for to top out the build, to get to level 50, 60, 70, to then refine the damage towards the end game. But it's working absolutely brilliant. 100% fast and fun Sorc to play. Chain Lightning everything. There's one opponent you bounce back and forth. And yes, the lightning mana bounces are also going to get buffed. All in all, 100% brilliant madness. And it cleared the CapStone Dungeon at level 35. Full level 50 skill tree in the description below. And this will get gradually updated as I level more with the Paragon board and everything. If you're looking for more Sorc builds, there's a top 3 video. And if you rather would like to watch Elden Ring with guns, Ranman 2, check that out.